now this series program, this series actually known as Fibonacci series. Okay, so in Fibonacci series, the previous two term addition value is the next term value. Okay, so 0 plus 1, so it is 1, the next value is 1, and the of 2, the previous two value is 1 and 1, so 1 plus 1 it becomes 2, and 3, previous two terms is 2 and 1, so 2 plus 1 it becomes 3, and 5, it previous two terms is 3 and 2, it's 3 plus 2 it becomes 5. Okay, so this is the Fibonacci series. So I am going to solve this Fibonacci series. Okay, you can solve this Fibonacci series by two ways. Basically there are little bit difference between this program segment, but the main common thing is I am going to declare here three variables. Okay, and before starting the loop, and the first variable is initialized the first value, and second variable is initialized with the second value, that means 1. So first variable is a, suppose, so it initialized by 0, and second variable is b, it is initialized by 1, and third variable is c. Okay, c. So you can solve this program by implementing the logic. Before starting this loop, you are going to print here in this portion, after initializing the value of a, b, you can print the value of a and b here, and then after you are going to write down the program 1. Now in this program, in the LCV, that means loop control variable I is not responsible to print the number which is actually shown here. The loop is completely responsible for this Fibonacci series case, how many times loop will execute. It is only responsible, but the value is not generated by using the LCV or loop control variable. Okay, now now if I just write or print the value of a and b before the loop, so then this time the loop will execute up to n minus 2 terms, because 2 terms is already printed before this loop, so n minus 2 terms, terms loop will execute, and loop increase by 1 value, always be. Okay, as this LCV is not related to this series value which is printed in this segment. Now if I am just print this value in this portion, then I am going to write this thing c equals to a plus b, and then after I am just printing the c here, and then I am initialize the value a equals to b and b equals to c. Okay, so in the very first time a and b, if it is printed in this segment, then c equals to a plus b, 0 plus 1, so c becomes 1 and c is printed, so this third term is print here, and then a becomes 1 because b is 1 and b becomes 1, and then after when the loop will execute, then 1 plus 1, so c becomes 2 and c is printed, so this 2 is printed, and then after a becomes 1 and b becomes 2. Okay, then after I am just going to run the program again, then a is 1 and b is 2, so 1 plus 2 it is 3, and 3 is printed here. So in this way you can solve this. Now the second method is not basically hugely differ from this from the first method. It is if you are not interested to print the value of a and b before starting the loop, then the program will start from 1 and the loop will execute up to n terms. Okay, no n minus 2 terms. Okay, and within this loop you are going to just write down that if I equals to 1, then print suppose a, and within else if I equals to 2, for you are going to print b, and else then you are going to follow the same trick, c equals to a plus b, and then print c, and c equals to a equals to b, like this, a equals to b and b equals to c, like this. Okay, so this is the little bit difference from the previous logic. Okay. Now come to the next question, series 8. Okay, now in the series 8 I am actually going to print the Fibonacci series and you can see, and the Fibonacci series is going to print up to n terms, and for this reason I am just taking the number of terms in the variable n. Here I am just taking the value n, and loop will execute from 1 to n minus 2, as the value is already printed here. Before the starting the loop, a and b is being printed in this portion, and then after I'm just doing the same operation as it is shown in the board, c equals to a plus b, and then just print it, and then a is initialized by again b, and b is again initialized by c, and the loop will execute, and a desired Fibonacci series will be generated. And let's see what is the output. Enter the number of terms. Suppose I am going to print the number of terms is 15 terms. Okay, now you can see the output is 0 1 1 2. So 0 plus 1 it becomes 1, and then after 1 plus 1 it becomes 2, and 1 plus 2 it becomes 3, and 3 plus 2 it becomes 5. And this is the Fibonacci series.